What I've learned about young professionals in Philadelphia is there are probably hundreds of individual young professional groups, but each one of them is on an island. The ultimate goal is to make sure that each one of these young professionals builds their I got a guy network. How often do you come across someone our age? They're like, oh, I got a guy for everything that you ask for. So I think that's what we ultimately want to have is like, I got a guy network.
Welcome to People at Pyramid. On this show, we like to introduce you to your fellow members and learn what's going on inside of the club. So let's get right over to our host, Vince Quinn, to meet our guest for today.
Hey members, I'm Steve Melchiorre. I'm a certified financial planner, and I've been a member here for about a year and a half now.
All right, and Steve, let's talk about your journey to being a financial planner, because my understanding is a lot of stuff, some zigzagging, if you will. So how did you get into this position?
Yeah, definitely not the ordinary right out of college financial planner realm. Right out of college, I was I thought I wanted to be a lawyer, and I realized very quickly I don't like reading. So you can't really be a lawyer if you don't like reading. So I was a juvenile probation officer on track to like go to law school at night and everything. So I did juvenile probation for 3 years. I was a social worker. I was in law enforcement, carried a gun, wore a vest, and then did the GPS ankle bracelet for a year. So each one of those 3 things for a year each. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a range, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so where's the pivot to financial planning? Like, when do you get that moment you're like, okay, instead of all of these other, carrying a gun, literally, like, to make that kind of switch, like, yeah, what triggered that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the things that I did as a probation officer kind of built the foundation for like how I work with clients now, because it showed me how people live, how differently lives are in the city of Philadelphia specifically. So it's like you have every walk of life, you have different parts of the city, and people like I'm seeing the worst of the worst on people's worst day of their life when they're either getting arrested or going in front of a judge, and it's like very hard for people. And it's like if they just had a little bit of education on things, maybe they made things a little bit different for them. So after being a probation officer, I again didn't find financial planning. I became a carpenter for a year and learned that I am not good with my hands, and I do not know how to do that very well. So I envy those guys entirely, because that is also not my realm. So
yeah, I respect the levels of the trying and failing, where it's like, I'm going to be a lawyer. I hate reading.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be a carpenter. I'm not good with my hands. Like,
Yep.
These are just such funny things to come across. But I love, part of it is just the risk taking, right? Like to say like, you know what? I'm just going to go in on this thing and see how it goes.
Yeah. Because at a certain point, like, what do you have to lose? Like, I think at the end of the day, like, I was learning different skills. Even if I wasn't good at those skills, it was more of like, all right, now I learned something else. So just trying to better yourself as you go along.
Yeah, I think it's always interesting how you can get stuff that you learn in one place and how it can unexpectedly apply to another.
Yeah.
And when you think about all of that, all the different experiences that you have over the years and how it comes together, it is pretty amazing at times. For me, like, I did mock trial in college, not because I had any interest in being a lawyer whatsoever.
Yeah.
I literally never did, but my brother did. And he needed like a goofy witness on the stand that could, so he was like, I want you to play like really silly characters for me.
That's awesome.
And just make it a hard time for the opposing lawyer. And I was like, that sounds fun.
Like, that's easy.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, what do you know? I have a business now, and thinking about different legal things and understanding that stuff. Like I sat in so many meetings understanding law, trying to understand it and its application and the language of it, that eventually was like, oh, this is really helpful for me as a business owner.
Yeah.
But I never saw myself owning a business either. So yeah, it's crazy how it moves.
It is. And then all of a sudden, it's just like one day you wake up and you're like, now I have my own thing I have to do, and I have to figure everything else out. Whereas like with the like being a carpenter, it's like every day you had something else that you were told to do. And now it's like you wake up, you're like, as a business owner, what do I do next? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to get to the Young Executive Committee in just a moment as well, because it's a big thing you're doing right now. I love your energy behind it, and I think it's really important for the club. But first, just a little bit more as a financial planner.
Yeah.
So with that, what about this work then? Now that you're doing this, like what excites you, what drives you in doing this kind of stuff?
Definitely. So yeah, like I said, my background shaped who I like to work with and how I like to do my financial planning. So I like to do financial planning for a very specific clientele, and that's the opposite of the ultra high net worth or the high net worth. I want to work with everyday individuals, families, and businesses to help them become a high net worth person by using the same finance and tax strategies that the ultra high net worth are using, but everyday people don't know about because they're not taught it, they're not educated on it. And it's one of the biggest travesties in our country is like, we don't have that type of education to help people become wealthy because the ultra wealthy are too busy like keeping all the wealth for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, there are times where I've heard different like tips, whether it's from people that are like in my life in some capacity or from a podcast you listen to. Like one person was like, "Yeah, I got my whole family in a company LLC, and I'm an employee of it. I'm gonna pay myself a very specific salary, and like the tax advantages of doing that stuff." And I'm like, "Oh my God, like this is a whole other world."
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're playing Major League Baseball and I'm in T-ball.
Exactly.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they kind of want. So it's just even if it's like the most basic simple things, like most people are not thinking about that things. They're just trying to pay their next paycheck. So if I can help you shift your mindset to a better financial outlook and understand that everything in our financial world is not about spending, then I think I've helped you in one way or another.
Yeah. So let's talk about the other way you're helping people then, right? Because now Young Executive Committee.
Yes.
And you are the chairperson of that, correct?
Yes. Co-chair with CJ. Yes.
Yeah. So CJ who? Let's get the full name out there.
Carlita Joseph. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to know everybody in the club, man.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
The game.
Yep.
Well, yeah. First off, just give people an idea of what the Young Executive Committee. There we go. What it is.
Yeah. So, like I said, I joined a little over a year and a half ago. And one of the big reasons why I joined was another space to work, networking. And I heard about this committee and I was like really interested in getting an understanding of like what they do. So when I first joined, it was a little disjointed. The only consistency was myself and Allison, one of the events coordinators here at the club. And at a certain point, we were the only two at one of the meetings. And she was like, "We don't have a chair anymore. You want to be it?" And I was like, "Sure." So 2 weeks later, it was me and CJ, and we decided to revamp it. So the Young Executive Committee, what we try to do is we put together events, either networking events, charitable events, or a social event for people here at the club so that we can like come together as young professionals and learn about each other's businesses, give back to the community, and then at the end of the day, kind of just relax and put all of our like work things behind us as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of those things. I mean, were some of the events, because I know you got a ton going on.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
So yesterday we were at Manna. We did 3 hours of helping the kitchen, like prep the food and everything. So that was our charitable thing. We have a couple more things in the works for the end of the year that we're going to be giving back. But the big thing that we have coming up is Thursday, June 25th. We're doing a FIFA watch party for young professionals here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, World Cup, man, it's fever. You see the flags all over the city. Like it's a crazy time.
Yeah,
so.
Fan Fest has completely changed my life. I live over in Brewery Town, so every single day is a little crazy over there at the moment. But yeah, what I've learned about young professionals in Philadelphia is there are probably hundreds of individual young professional groups, whether they are connected to a nonprofit or maybe they're connected to a museum or an opera or even to like a club like ours. But each one of them is on an island. The ultimate goal is to make sure that each one of these young professionals builds their I got a guy network. Because you see all the old heads in Philadelphia, they're like, I got a guy for this, I got a guy for that. But how often do you come across someone our age? They're like, I got a guy for everything that you ask for. So I think that's what we ultimately want to have is like, I got a guy network.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, the idea that you're trying to find all these other young executive groups essentially and unite them is really cool. Like this is funny. This is where my mind goes. Have you ever seen a movie called The Warriors?
The Warriors. I don't think so.
This is me being an old man now.
Okay.
I've gone from young executive to old man.
Love it.
It was a quick switch.
Yeah.
There's a movie called The Warriors. It came out in like the 70s. It's this really campy, ridiculous movie. It's great. The whole thing is that this guy is uniting all of the gangs of New York into being one gang.
Love it.
Is what his goal is.
Yeah.
And like it's a great crazy movie. But yeah, and they've got all these gimmicks and stuff. But it's a good watch. So anyway, it's just the idea of like, yeah, let's get all these people and let's make an honest effort to find all of these little siloed things that have a shared purpose and bring them together is like really admirable. And I am rooting for you hard with this.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
So with that then, for people who are also hearing this and want to be a part of it, how do you join the Young Executive Committee? How do you get involved? How do you stay in touch? Like what should people do?
Definitely. So if you want to join the Young Executive Committee, feel free to reach out to me or to Allison or Cassandra here at the club. They'll have information. We meet once a month, and it's on the second Thursday of every month. So we'll be taking off in August, but we're going to go back to regular schedule in September. So second Thursday at 5 p.m. Every month is when we do our committee meeting. And then anytime we have an event, it will say Young Executive Committee on the calendar in the Invited app. So make sure if you want to join one of the events that we have, you look out for those on the calendar as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, love everything you're doing. If you are interested, as you're listening to this, watching this, go sign up for the Young Executive Committee. Go reach out to somebody. Things are happening. And so before we close this out, Steve, we're going to get a little personal here.
Okay.
We're going to get a little personal. I understand you're a martial artist.
Yes.
How so?
So I've been doing martial arts since I was 5. Korean martial art called Tang Soo Do. I did that until I was about a teenager, and then swim took over my life. And then after college, I'm sure you can attest to this. Once you're out of college, you don't really know. If you don't have the structure of college anymore, you're like, I don't know what to do with my life.
Yeah.
So I lived in West Philly and joined Shotokan. So I've done Tang Soo Do, Shotokan, and then I also picked up Kung Fu as well. So I've done a couple different martial arts throughout my lifetime.
Man, if you were still doing the juvenile stuff, you'd be like, listen, kids, wow, like putting them in line, you know? So yeah, we lost like a super trooper here. You would have...
Yeah.
But that's okay. So you are good with your hands. You've lied to me.
I guess not carpenter good with my hands, but yeah.
Yeah, tools. We'll throw tools away.
Yeah, throw tools out of
but
the
your hands are rock solid.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. All right, well, Steve, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys doing this. It was great to be here.
Thank you for listening to People at Pyramid. If you enjoyed the show, please tell a fellow member. If you would like to be a guest on the show, check the show notes, and we look forward to seeing you around the club soon.